Very good morning to everyone. In this lecture, EC8652 Wireless Communication, Unit 2, Cellular Architectures. In previous classes, we are already discussed in multiple access techniques and also the frequency reuse techniques and also the channel assignment strategies. Now today we are going to discuss the interference and system capacity. In cellular communication, the problem of interference in a major issues that limit the system performance. The interference may be generated due to several reasons. What about the several reasons? So the interference it can be generated due to the several reasons. Some of the source of interference. What are the source of interference? That is another mobile in the same cells. Number 2, call in progress in a neighboring cells. Number 3, other base station operating in a same frequency. Number 4, another non-cellular system leak energy into a cellular frequency bandwidth. So it causes crosstalk effects. So the effect of the interference in cellular zone will definitely degrade the signal quality. In some extreme cases, interference may lead to blocked call status. The interference is bottleneck that limited the capacity of the cellular system. So what are the types of interference? There are two different categories. Now type 1 co-channel interference, type 2 adjacent channel interference. The co-channel interference, that is a CCI, to increase the bandwidth saving in a cellular communication, the concept of frequency reuse. The concept of frequency reuse is made of use of. When applying the reuse techniques in a cellular zone, cells may use the same frequency. For example, if the cell 1 in a zone uses frequency F1, cell 5 and cell 6 may also use the same frequency F1. Then if there is an interference between these cells, it is termed as a co-channel interference, CCI. And what are the solutions to reduce the co-channel interference? The co-channel interference degrades the system performance and it has to be reduced or minimized. For this, co-channel cells should be physically separated by a defined range or distance so that the interference will not take place during the cell propagation. And also the second solution is the analysis. The co-channel interference will be independent of power transmitted and dependent on distance between the two center of the closest cells and the radius of the cells, and only if the size of the cells in a cellular zone is same and the base station transmit the same power. Thus, if there is H isolation of the radio frequency between the cells, the co-channel interference may not occur. So the Q is the co-channel reuse ratio parameter. So the Q is equal to D divided by R, where the accepted trade-off between the Q and clusters, that is called N cluster, have to minimize the tolerable co-channel interference. So the co-channel reuse ratio value, it is a Q is equal to 3, so the cluster size N equal to 3, and the co-channel reuse ratio 6, so the cluster size is 12. For a particular cellular coverage area, the signal to interference ratio given as S divided by I. That is a signal to interference ratio. So what is the signal to interference ratio in the co-channel interference? S divided by I is equal to D divided by R divided by I naught. That is distance between the cell center divided by radius of the cells, and whole divided by number of interfering co-channel cells. Let us consider the adjacent channel interference. The adjacent channel interference, that is it can be minimized through carefully filtering and channel assignment, since each cell in given only a fraction of available channels. A cell need not be assigned channels which are all adjacent in the frequency, but keeping the frequency separation between each cell in a cells are large as possible, the adjacent cells interference may be reduced considerably. Thus, instead of assigning channels which form a continuous band of frequencies with a particular cells, the channel are allocated such that the frequency separation between the channel in a given cell is maximized. By sequentially assigning the successive channels in a frequency band to different cells, channel allocation schemes are able to separate the adjacent cells in a cells by many of the n channel bandwidths. By n is a cluster size, already I have to say the n is a cluster size. So the channel allocation scheme also prevent the secondary source of adjacent channel interference by avoiding the use of adjacent channels in the neighboring cell site. It is a kind of interference assigning due to the cells that are assigned or adjacent in a frequency. The interference is due to imperfect receiver side filter, which permit nearby signals frequency mixed or leak with actual baseband. So in this adjacent channel interference, it can be a near pair effect. If a user is transmitted in a range very close to another subscriber receiver, then the receiver will make a attempt to receive the base station signal, which will result in a serious interference problem, such as the effect of interference due to the distance, that is or range, is called a near pair effect. When an adjacent channel signal's strength is very stronger, then the base station of the cells will find it very difficult in differentiating the actual mobile user from the strong adjacent to the cells. So how to reduce the adjacent channel interference? It is focused in the two important reducing the adjacent channel interference points. Number one, proper filtering method. Number two, channel assignment method. Each and every cells in a cluster in a cells zone is allocated with a cell set of channels. These channels can be assigned frequency, such as the frequency of adjacent cell channels should not be very close to each other. Such an effective and careful frequency allocation to the channel of cells with help a lot of to reduce the effect of adjacent channel interference. The separation of frequency between the channel is very important. So there is another complexity involved in the adjacent channel interference. The frequency reuse principle will help to save the bandwidth, but at the same time, if the channel that are very close use the same frequency, then there will be series of adjacent channel interference effect. So it is always better to 6 channel separations allocated in the frequency assignment to the channel under the frequency reuse pattern to maintain the effective of adjacent channel interference in the accepted level. Now today we are discussed the interference and its system capacity. in the different category type of interference is a co-channel interference and also the adjacent channel interference. Now we can wind up this session. The next session we are going to discuss about the topic trunking and grade of services in mobile communication network. Thank you for watching this video.